Austin, for the third time this season, the defense as a collective unit has given up under 24, 21 most recently against Boise State. How do you not get frustrated in the trap of what could have been and trying to bounce back?
I guess that's the biggest thing is it seems frustrating. But I think the biggest thing is that we just have a belief in each other right now. We have belief in the offense. We have belief in the special teams. It's not one person. It's not one unit. We have struggled. And it is frustrating losing these games, but we got to bounce back. We keep saying we got to learn from these mistakes, but we got to learn from them, and we got to correct them at the same time. So hopefully we can do so that we can go on to UMass and start out fast there and beat them. So,
what are some of the things that give you belief in the offense right now?
Some of the things that belief in the offense, I think when the defense as a whole starts playing well, I think that kind of gives us confidence, which radiates to them, and I've seen that. So the things that give me confidence is myself having confidence, and when I have confidence, it's easier to help rally the team together and get them going. But I've seen the whole offense. They're very talented players. Zach Wilson. We have some really good receivers, Dylan Colley, Micah Simon, Levi Hefo, the line, Squally. We have really good, talented players. And I know that they're going to go out and make the most out of their plays. So it's just being able to bounce back and have that belief within each other.
I'm going to take you to a scenario, I believe, late in the first quarter at Boise State, down 14-0. Kickoff is fumbled, and it's given back to Boise State in the red zone, and you come up with a stop. What happened in that moment to change things back in BYU's favor?
The frustrating thing is that we started out slow. I think that's what we talked about within the last few games is we've just started out slow, and so when it was 14-0 and then they fumbled and then they're in good possession to score, that was the biggest thing going on the field is we are not going to get blown out of this game. So we walked out there, and that's literally what some of the guys had said, and that's what we rallied around. And after that, we gave up another touchdown later, but I mean, I think that was the biggest thing is we started out slow and we knew adversity hit us, but we all had to gather together, and a lot of us just smiled because you got to live for these moments when your back's against the wall and you got to come up with something big.
After 2 weeks in a row of really nice defensive performances and not quite enough offense, how do you as a defense help the offense in a way, like whether it's emotional or physically in the game?
I think it's just focusing on the details, just making sure that we're out here at practice and we're paying attention to what matters most. Anything matters. Nutrition matters. Hydration, coming out here ready, making sure you're performing at the best of your ability so that you can go out and execute for Saturday. You know, you got to start on Monday to prepare so that you can go and execute on Saturday. So I think it's the biggest thing is the small steps, and we just got to start with those small steps and continue to regather and focus.
We just learned officially that one of your defensive mates, Chris Wilcox, is out for the rest of the season. How will that affect the BYU defense moving forward?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Chris Wilcox is a great player for us. He's pretty locked down, and we'll miss him. But I was really happy to see Keenan Ellis and D'Angelo Mandel step up when they were called. And I've seen Isaiah Herron, I've seen Malik Moore at that nickel spot this last few weeks. And so those guys are really talented. They're young, so they don't have the experience quite as Wilcox, but they got the speed, they got the athleticism, and it's just about the fundamentals of the game. Hopefully they can stick to their technique. I've seen great things, and I think they'll be really good for us, and hopefully they can be shut down just like Chris was.
Big game with UMass, who's put up a bunch of points, 62 in triple overtime. In the Patriots Stadium, Gillette Stadium. What do you think of this matchup, not only with UMass, but where it's being played?
I'm excited. I mean, it's frustrating to get two losses in a row, especially after a bye week. And so I think that's still in the back of our minds, and I think that we're thinking of everything we can do to prepare the best way we can. So we have a lot of emotion coming up to this game. So there's a lot of history on that field, and hopefully we can make more history and more greatness, and so we're going to come ready and gun into play. So,
how much does last year's loss to UMass factor into your mentality this week? Because that was kind of this collective low point for BYU football last season.
Exactly. I feel like we've played some great teams this year, and so we can't overlook anybody. And that's what we saw last year. We don't want to repeat that season, and that's the biggest thing right now, is that we are not last year's team. We're a different team, and we're going to gather together. And so we know we lost to UMass. A lot of guys returned, and that's still in the back of our minds, and it's been at our own home. And so I think there's a lot of emotion, like I said, and I think we'll be ready just because there's that emotion, and we're just ready to come out, and we got to win. We got to get a win.
I know you'll dig into the film more, but there's a 5'10" receiver named Andy Isabella for UMass. He had 303 receiving yards. Can you guarantee me right now he'll have less than 300 Saturday?
Yes. He's a great athlete, and there's no doubt about it. He's had a lot of yards every single game, but we got to shut him down, and I believe in our coaches and their schemes. I believe in our players and their abilities, and I believe we'll have something in place to be able to shut him specifically down as well. So they're a good team, and you've seen that. They can put up a lot of points, they put up a lot of yards, and so we got to shut them down, and we got to be ready like we're the top defense in the nation. 299 or fewer. You heard it here first.
Oh, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Lock it up.
Blast that out on social
media.
Lock it up, dude.
I'm ready for it. No.
It's no secret you need to win 2 of the last 3 to get bowl eligible and to get back to a bowl game after missing one last year. How much is that floating around in your mind?
I mean, it's floating in the back of our mind. I mean, we got to prepare for UMass because they're the next game, but we understand that we're only 4 wins, and that's one of our goals. We got to be bowl eligible, so that is a goal, but we got to take one game at a time, and so hopefully we can focus on this one first, and once we get that win, we eventually lead up to the next.
All right, Austin, let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma.
Yeah, let's give you the karma in the pursuit of holding Isabella sub 300 and creating more takeaways and sacks, right? Because that can help the offense.
But just getting a win, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting a win, yeah. Beat UMass.
Let's get one.
Thanks, Austin.